Alright, so this is going to be my review of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 3. Yeah, we are on to the third episode of the season, and this one talks about where Simmons has been. She's apparently been working for Hydra, but is she really? That's right, really, in all honesty, Simmons is really a double agent. She's working for Coulson, and she's giving out sources and all that, but we'll get to that in a minute. But what this season opens up to is Dr. Whitehall, a.k.a. Kraken, mind-controlling Agent 33, who we know as Mockingbird. Yeah, this is the first time we see Mockingbird, and yeah, he does his best to break her, and suffice to say, it's kind of horrible to watch. Because that is some brutal torture right there. But yeah, like I said earlier, Simmons is now working for Hydra. She's working as a double agent for Coulson and giving out leaks to their information. And she discovers that they're after Donnie Gill, who we know as the Blizzard. And he's wanted for Project Blizzard. And they're meanwhile, while this is going on, Simmons finding all this out, the rest of S.H.I.E.L.D. is kind of, well, they're still a shit can. They're still losing all the fights. In fact, Coulson's trip to Britain turned out to be nothing. So there goes my MI-13 theory. We also get to see what Donnie's been up to. Donnie has been pretty much doing what Bruce Banner's been doing all these years, running for his life from shadowy government organizations. Again, this feels very much like the Hulk. He's been running away, running from Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D., and just trying to, focus on his own life. He's just trying to, live out his own life in his own way. And, yeah, you really do feel sorry for him, because he's gotten the shit deal. But, yeah. So, we also have a scene of May teaching Skye, how did I forget that? Yeah, teaching Skye how to shoot, and she's just teaching her, hey, look, you got to keep your heartbeat at a minimum of 61. At all times, no matter what you do. And we also get a bit more between, her and Lance, who is, I guess they're going to try to start a thing together because he's just trying to charm her. And there's a bit more charming later on in the episode, but through that, Skye is still kind of cold-hearted in here, and even says, "I pretended all the targets were Ward." That's funny. But yeah, among other things, we also have Coulson, discovering from Simmons that they're after Gill, and you need to go get him before before Hydra takes them. And we also get more scenes between Ward and Skye, and Ward pretty much tells her straight up, look, this is why Hydra is going to defeat S.H.I.E.L.D. in the end, because they're willing to do what you can't. They don't have to think about what's right or what's wrong. All they have to think about is really just, one chance is all you get, and then they'll just put a bullet in your head and call it a day. They won't even think about, an alternative. They'll just be like, pop, you're done. We also have Fitz, who's more or less still angry about, he feels like everyone else is keeping secrets from him, and which is understandable because, well, he is more or less still brain damaged, and he hates it. And again, you feel bad for him because he didn't ask for this. He didn't feel, he didn't want this to happen to him. His best friend is gone. The person he cared about the most is pretty much, he doesn't even know where she is, and he is just manically depressed. So when the rest of the agents run off to rescue Gill from Hydra and want to use him on their side, Fitz goes to, and Fitz by himself goes down to Ward's prison cell, and that's where he discovered they have Ward, and he's freaking out. It's a pretty decent reaction actually to what happened. Him just like, oh my god, I can't believe it's you. He's just completely horrified. And Ward is trying to tell him, hey, look, I didn't mean this for you to happen. Garrett wanted me to shoot you in the head. I gave you at least a fighting chance. And he's like, do you even know what you did to me? Here, let me show you. And he pretty much cuts off. He does something completely evil, which again, this is me convinced that Fitz is going to turn to the dark side, and maybe not with Hydra, but maybe he's just going to become a villain all on his own. And this is the start of it, where he cuts off the oxygen in Ward's cell and makes him suffocate. He wants to make him feel how he felt. Very dark scene, and again, like I said, this really opens up the idea of the idea and possibility that maybe he's gonna go nuts, and maybe he will go nuts and become a villain. So that scene kind of goes out, and he's like, "Hey, man," and Ward's like, "Hey, look, there's gonna be a trap. They're running right into a trap. If it is Donnie Gill, something happened to him." But yeah, Donnie decides, you know what, fuck it, I've had enough, I am going to confront Hydra, and he goes on this ship that's controlled by Hydra, and he's like, I'm not running, I'm not scared, I'm pissed off, and kills everyone on the ship, and pretty much gourds Hydra into chasing after him. And the director of Hydra, not director, I guess you could say lieutenant of Hydra, pretty much says to Simmons, hey look, you know him, convince him to persuade us to join him, persuade him to join us, or we'll kill you both. So Simmons tries to do that while Coulson's team heads out to save him. While this is going on, Simmons runs back and tells Coulson, he sends a message to Coulson saying, look, there's a problem. Donnie Donnie didn't escape during the whole event with Hydra with Captain America destroying, S.H.I.E.L.D. from the inside out. What happened was that Donnie took over the sandbox. He was he was a sleeper agent. He was mentally controlled the moment he was brought there, and then brought down the sandbox and released all the other supervillains. And but he ran off. His mental control, the mental controls they were using on him wasn't exactly strong enough, and now he's become kind of a rogue asset. So Simmons is there trying to convince Donnie to join them, until eventually she's trying to get him to comply, which is the same thing they did with Carl Creel. But May jumps in along with Lance. They disrupt it. Donnie is then mind-controlled by the Hydra lieutenant. I can't even remember his name, I'm going to call him that. And it eventually leads to the Hydra lieutenant telling everyone, kill everyone on the ship who isn't Hydra. He tries to freeze the entire ship. Skye shoots Donnie and sends him, he gets knocked off the ship, but they never find his body. It gets encased in ice. Again, guys, I am still I am still convinced that they are building up to the Masters of Evil. I'm convinced we're gonna, they're building up to something akin to the Masters of Evil or the Lethal Legion or something like that. But anyway, so mission is mission not really salvaged because they couldn't get Donnie, but they did. The Hydra agents were forced to pull out early, and however they left all their tech at Hydra. All the Hydra tech they had on the ship left behind, and that's kind of a win for Coulson and his team. Coulson later goes to Fitz and says, "Look, I'm keeping secrets from you, but I'm the director, and I saw what you did to Ward. I hate him here too, but we need to get dirt on Hydra. We need to know how they work, and he's the only one who can do that." But, don't do... And also, he kind of tells him where Simmons is, not without telling him. He says, look, Fitz is... Simmons is on a way... Simmons is away on a mission. She'll be fine. She'll come back someday, I hope. And he says, you were trying to kill Ward. And he's like, I will never kill anybody. I would never kill anybody. To which I say, that's what everyone who becomes a villain later on says first. So again, I'm still kind of thinking in my head, yeah, somewhere down the road, Simmons is going to get I always get those names mixed up. I'm sorry, guys, I really am. Fitz is going to go a little crazy, and yeah, he's going to go apeshit, and someone's going to have to put him down. So the final scene is that between Ward and Skye, and they're having a conversation of, Ward pretty much telling her, look, your father's alive, he's looking for you, and one day I'm going to take you to him and everything's going to be fine, to which Skye freaks out and leaves. We also have another scene of Whitehall pretty much saying, hey look, I'm telling his Hydra underling, look, if we, You know, I'm patient. I've got all day to wait again. And Hydra, if Hydra really is a threat, we need to take him out once and for all. We need to finish it. However, they don't know that Coulson is in charge. And the Hydra underling pretty much says, look, there's a scientist that's I feel like is being wasted. I think it's time we bring her up here. We also see that Agent 33, Mockingbird, is mind-controlled. And to which Whitehall says, if she does, if she proves to, if this Simmons girl is proving to be too dangerous, we'll make her comply. So I'm kind of under the impression maybe when she got inducted, she got subconsciously she got subconsciously mind controlled like Donnie was, not even realizing that they were brainwashed. That's so I guess Simmons may be a sleeper agent as well. That's another thing right there. All in all, this was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. The whole thing with Simmons was pretty cool. Also cool to see Donnie Gilligan. I always get excited to see the superpowered elements again. And that once again, I am still under the impression that we are going to get a Masters of Evil somewhere down the road. They are just, I feel like that's what they're building up to. But once again, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this. And you guys tell me, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Comment below, let me know. And yeah, I will see you guys later.